Hello. It's a beautiful day. This is Queen Mother. This is the Queen Mother Speak Show, due to start at 5 p.m. I know you are ready, and I know, excuse me, I know that you are ready, and I know that you are waiting for, for Teresa to come in and give you the workshop today on USA Focus grant writing. Well, I'll have you to know that we're going to postpone the USA grant writing workshop. Nana will not be here today. She is experiencing some things. And so we told her, no worries, go right ahead. We'll go ahead and start the show. Now, what I would like to do for you is to play the video from the Africa Focus grant writing workshop. It, however, right now is downloading. I need about a good 20 minutes for that particular video to download so that we can actually watch it today. So that's what we're up to doing. But while we're doing that, I just want to take a minute and speak to you on what we call the spiritual faculties. There are 12 different spiritual faculties, and they correspond with the various months of the year. For example, we'll say what they are. Okay, so the 12 faculties are, the first one is called faith. Faith is one of the 12 spiritual powers. Strength, wisdom, love, power, imagination, understanding, will, order, zeal, renunciation, generative life, and those are the 12 spiritual powers. Now, for the month of August, which we're in, the spiritual power is about the will of man. And what I'd like to take a moment and do with you today is to talk about that as the video for today is downloading. Once again, thank you for tuning in. This is Queen Mother. This is Queen Mother Speaks, and we're in the series on dealing with grant writing. We will do grant writing USA Focus next week, and today we're downloading the video for Africa Focus USA, Africa Focus grant writing. So while that is downloading so that we can upload it for you to see today, I want to speak to you about the spiritual power that's called will. We will obey the voice of the Lord our God, that it may be well with us. Jeremiah 42:6. Every great character in the Bible became great by learning to hear and learning to obey the will of the Lord. They learned to obey in all things the voice of the indwelling Christ, the voice of the indwelling Christ. Okay? Moses reveals how non resistance and obedience may lead once through the dangers of sense consciousness into light and freedom. When Moses was born, his life was, from the viewpoint of man, in immediate danger. The king of Egypt had issued an edict that every male child born to the Israelites should be killed. You've read the scriptures, you may know this. This decree doomed Moses, but the spiritual nature that was wrapped in the soul of the young baby delivered him from the man made law and brought him safely through every peril. The great mother love in the heart of the woman who bore Moses caused her to hide him away during the first few months of his life. When she could no longer keep him in concealment, she made a basket of rushes, placed him in it, and set the basket among the reeds on the shore of the river Nile. With the prayer, she put the baby in the basket that God would bring the precious cargo into the hands of someone who could and would protect and save her child. God's hand protected the boat. An Egyptian princess, accompanied her by her ladies in waiting, came to bathe in the Nile. While her lady was bathing in the Nile, she found the baby in the basket and adopted him. Thus, through God's guidance, this little boy was placed where he was received and where he would receive the best of care, where eventually every advantage of the land of Egypt was open to him. So, as we well know, Moses did become a great leader and a great lawgiver. The name Moses means drawing out, drawing out, drawing out. Through the power of divine guidance, he finally led the children of Israel out of their Egyptian bondage and placed them on the path that led to the promised land. So the history of Moses really is the history of every great character in the world. Obedience to the guiding power of the indwelling Lord was the one thing that elevated him above the race. Okay, so now in talking about this will, what is this will about? Divine will is good will. In real spiritual unfoldment, when we become obedient to the indwelling Christ, that's the Christ within, the will and understanding inquire into the real value of every thought that knocks at the door of consciousness. We will learn the real value and we will make it pay tribute according to its worth. Okay, so in talking about the will, man has a will. And often I will hear people say, if it be the will of God, something that they may want to do. And they'll often use the phrase, if it be the will of God. And I want to speak on that for just a moment. The phrase, if it be the will of God. One of the things that I've been taught in my spiritual life is that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. They and everything that dwell therein. That includes us as man. And so God has given us as man a will. And with that will that God has given to us, it is expected that we will use the willpower that the Lord has given us. But oftentimes I hear people say, well, I will do it if it be the will of the Lord. And in my thinking, in my upbringing, everything on the earth is for man. What we have to do is to learn how to ask for that which we want. To ask for that which we want. And then there's many scriptures to back up and say what will happen, in fact, if we do the right thing. So in following our will, the point I want to make is that God has given us the will. So I believe when we in prayer and go in dwelling within, and we begin to ask, Lord, for this, or Lord, for that, when we go in for the indwelling, we put forth to spirit that which we want. And it will be granted to us according to the excellent greatness of the Lord. Now, there's also some things about your own belief about when you're asking for something. What are you believing when you're asking? Are you asking believing? Or are you asking half believing? So there is a difference in having will and asking spirit for something and putting forth that which you want. Whereas many people would just say, well, I just want to see I don't know. I just want to see what the Lord wants, but the Lord wants you to say that which you want. Put it forth. Put forth that which you want. Another piece that I'd like to speak on right now in relationship to will is I hope you can still see me on the screen. I'm reading something right now, but I don't know if I am still actually on screen with you or not. I don't know. But let me go back over here to the screen. Let me just go back over here for a moment to the screen. And like I say, I don't know when I go away to read something on the other side, right? Whether or not it knocks me off screen. Okay, but I'm not sure. So then we're just going to stay here and talk some more about the will, your will, and the will of the Lord. Usually they are the same. So when it's something you want from the Lord or something you want from Spirit, that is what you ask for. And many people just say, well, no, I'm just going to see what the Lord wants me to do, when the Lord is wanting you to say that which you want to do. That is the training, okay, that I have had. That is the training that I have had. And even let me take a look and see how the download is coming. One moment. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Okay. Let's go back and see. Okay, I'm telling it to resume, to resume, to resume the downloading, but I don't know, folks, that doesn't look like, it doesn't look like that's what's happening. You know, I had no idea that I would be on air today, but here we are. And I feel like the Lord has prepared us for things in our life. And the Lord has prepared me even in this moment as I'm here speaking to you, waiting on the download to finish. And I'm keep pushing resume, but it doesn't seem to be resuming. So I'm going to leave that alone. And then I'm just going to stay right here and be right here with you. We will not be doing a full broadcast today, but I'm just going to take a moment and talk more about will. I know often when there's something that I want to do, I have this mantra that I say, Lord, give me the strength, the courage, the will, the desire, and the commitment to overcome my weaknesses of the flesh, whatever those weaknesses may be, whether it's eating too much peanut butter or eating too much ice cream, whether the weakness of the flesh is walking or not walking, whether the weakness of the flesh is singing or not singing. So I have this mantra and I ask these 5 things: give me the strength, the courage, the will, the desire, and the commitment to overcome my weaknesses. And then I began to point out and say what those weaknesses are. And I continue to have that prayer on a daily basis. On a daily basis, I continue to have that prayer. And sometimes, many times during the day, I will just stop and utter. I'll just stop and utter. Also, during the pandemic, one of the things I did was I put myself on a schedule. And the schedule was every day, 8, 11, 2, and 5. 8, 11, 2, and 5. What I will do is I will stop. I will drink water, a bottle of water. I'll take time out. I can do any of my exercises, whether I'm doing a physical exercise, all right? I could breathe. I could meditate. I could do the tapping on the body points. But I take that 8, 11, 2, and 5 every day and do something with it. And once the pandemic started, I got into the routine of it. I found myself, and you see, I put my water very close. You see, it's just right here. Okay, close enough that I can do 8, 11, 2, and 5. Well, 5 o'clock has already started, hasn't it? So I'm going to start drinking my 5 o'clock bottle of water right now. And once I noticed during pandemic, once I started in this routine, it became a part of me. And I was just drinking 4 bottles of water every day, 4 bottles of water every day. Now, there may have been some days I drank 3 instead of 4. But the point being is I was on it. For the most part, I did do the full 4. But some days I may have missed one, especially if I was having a meeting or something else was going on. I may have missed one of the bottles of water. Thank you for that. But by having that routine during the pandemic, it got me through. And the other thing that got me through was the breathing. That's when I started meeting with the Art of Living Institute, who can train us in so many different methodologies on breathing. And those things brought me through. But it was having the will. Will, you see, sometimes with will, you may have some reservations. You may have some reservations, even in your will to get something done. But then that's something else to act about, to ask Spirit for when you have reservations inside of your will. So, along with will, okay, would come this thing that we also call courage. Will, courage. And you see, courage, my Lord, I've been doing a lot of reading on courage because I'll be presenting some things to you during the rest of this season on courage. And one of the things I've learned about courage is this: it isn't something that you make yourself have. Courage is something that you do when you don't know what to do, but you act and you still do something. That's what courage is. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting with that fear, not knowing what the outcome will be. Not knowing what the outcome will be. So you see, these words will and these words courage, they are very closely related. And again, for this particular month of August, it is about our will and learning how to, if you will, deliver our will over to Spirit, allowing yourself to be ruled by Spirit, allowing yourself. Because we have so many thoughts in our heads. But anytime that we can calm ourselves and allow ourselves to be ruled by Spirit, then we can get into the will. It's that indwelling, it's those feelings and that spirit from within that you tap into for yourself that you want to now present on the what we're calling the outer world. I want to take this moment with you, if I may, and let me say thank you, Christine, for being present with us for the show. Thank you, Christine, for being one of our listeners to the show. Thank you, Mary. Oh, thank you very much, June. Thank you for tuning into the Queen Mother Speak Show. Thank you, Dennis. And we're trying to see where is Maurice today. Thank you for those who are tuning in to the Queen Mother Speak Show. I want to take this moment and let's see. We're still, well, it's not resuming. Still trying to get that. Okay. So I can't say if that's going to whether that's going to come or not. But I want to take a minute with you today and do something else that I've always wanted to do with you, and that is on our breathing exercise. Okay, we have the young ladies who come in and do about a 10-minute breathing session with us, and then when they're not here, we always continue with the breathing because breath is life. And one of the things that I found out about breathing is that it can also calm you down. So I'm going to take this moment with you, and we're going to do a breathing exercise. Um, Maybe a minute or two longer than usual, but I'm going to ask you to breathe with me. And what we're going to do, I'm going to pull my chair a little closer so that I can be closer in here with you. Okay, there we go. I'm closer in with you. So what we're going to do is going to breathe in through our nose to the count of 6. Breathe in to the count of 6. And then we're going to hold it to the count of 6. And then we're going to release it through the mouth slowly to the count of 10. So breathe in 6, hold 6, exhale 10. Slowly, slowly, slowly through the mouth. Are you ready? Okay, then let's get going. Hold. Okay, you can look and see what I'm doing, but then I want you to get into it for yourself. Okay, when you get into this breathing exercise for yourself, feel it, take it on. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Are you letting it out to the count of 10? Okay, we've done 2. Okay, and then we're going to do one more. Thank you for that. And what I want to say is when you find yourself upset or got a question mark in your mind or a question mark in your thoughts, breathe. Very simply breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. I have found when I hear news that may not be such great news, I breathe. When I'm watching the news, I don't do it every day. It's too much. But often when I'm watching the news, I have to go into my breathing as well. I have to go into my breathing as well. So we're going to be inviting the facilitators from the Art of Living Institute to come back to the Queen Mother Speak show and do some more breathing with us and teach us some other types of breathing. The one that I do is the simple breath, but there's so many more that we can do for energy. All right, there's so many different other breaths we can do. Please excuse me. As some of you may know, I recently had a thing called the flu. I don't know whose strand it is. I don't know where the strand came from. All I can tell you is that Queen Mother had it, and it's pretty much gone, but it's kind of still here just a little bit. So excuse me for coughing. Okay, for coughing with you and for coughing on you, but that's okay. I know it's a human thing, and we shouldn't have to apologize too much for our humanness, but it's also good to just say, excuse me, okay, and be on your way. But getting back to our spiritual faculty for the month of August, which is the one about willing yourself over to spirit. I want to read something else about will for you right here. Just give me a moment. Read a little bit more about will. Okay, the other part, Emerson said that one man was true to what is in you and what is in me. Okay, that one man was Jesus Christ. Let us be true to ourselves. Let us be true to what is within us. I believe that obedience is the best that we know, and it is a key that will unlock every door that will open into the spiritual realms. Let us be obedient. So, will has a lot to do with obedience. Each of us can be conscious of this inner guidance. By being meek and lowly, subservient to spirit, we open the way for God's great loving will to enwrap us, to protect us, to lead us into the paths of peace, and to the paths of health, to the paths of happiness, prosperity, just as it protected Moses' little reed boat in the river Nile. Okay? Gradually, you will come to know that God's loving, sheltering will is within you and about you, and this realization will give you a consciousness of security and understanding. Then again, allow the presence of will to ascend within you to the point designated as the great central sun, and praise the Lord. And it also says you can repeat the Lord's Prayer. In conclusion, for the sake of balance, perfect balance, throw the attention down into the feet and know that the will of God, working in the perfect understanding of the law, is having its perfect way in you. The feet represent that part of the body which contacts the earth, also the affairs of the world. Hence, excuse me, excuse me one moment. This is one of our co-hosts. So we're going to take this call because it is a co-host. Dr. Nava, I can't get in. Okay, well we're using the link. That link is having me to sign up for something. For StreamYard. Okay, well, I'm on air right now, so I can't do anything with it right now. Oh, okay, I'm trying to get in. I'll just say happy birthday at least. Okay. I wanted to do the workshop, but I can always see it again. Right, because Nana isn't here today. I sent out a notice that she would not be here today at the last minute. All right, so thank you for tuning in, and please tune in with us on next week. Okay, let me see. One second. Let's see if we can make this happen. Okay, we're just trying to send the link to, let's see if we can find her. Okay. Just one moment. Queen Mother will be right back there with you in just a moment. We're trying to, we're working on us having another person in studio with us today. Okay. All right.
Greetings, everyone.
My. Let's see if we can.
I'm gonna lift up my hat so y'all can see my face.
Yeah, no, I think that's nice of you to do that. Hello, darling. How are you? How are
Huh?
you? How are
I'm
you?
fine. I'm fine. How you doing, Dosh?
I'm doing very fine. I know that everyone was tuned up today to be in the family and talk about. Nana's been rolling with these workshops, and today we were to have the USA focus, but she's having some severe weather where she is right now in Ohio, and so they were having something that we often get in Africa, power outage. And so we
Oh,
told her, no, no worries, that we would step in for her. But since I had so many people who were waiting for that USA Focus grant writing workshop,
yeah.
I felt compelled to
I
send out a
call
notice.
I call all the troopers in. I say, you want
Yeah.
to get money, you better get on this workshop.
All right. So
But
that's why I sent it. Did you get the notice that it was being postponed?
no, I didn't see that because I've been running around doing errands. But a delay is not a denial. If they really want the money, they'll come back on next week.
Yeah, yeah. So life happens. And I'm just glad I was in place because a lot of times during the show, Queen Mother's just not around. But thank God that I was around today and we were able to be here. So I've just been talking a little bit about will, which is the spiritual faculty for the month of August. Okay.
Okay.
I shared some information on will. And then I also talked a little bit about the 12 powers themselves. Okay.
Okay.
Understanding, love, forgiveness, renunciation, wisdom, all of those. But will is the one for the month of August. So we've been talking about that. And now I was about to take a moment and go to the theme for this month and talk about that. But let me ask you, any hot news you want to speak on at this moment?
Yeah, they're having a big the locals from Howard University came on the campus on the beating up the students. So I don't
Huh?
have it's on NBC News. It's huge. I don't know what's really going on in Washington D.C., but why would they pick on the students? And so the students are gonna.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything on what you're speaking.
This is big news on NBC News. I don't know if Roland Martin has gotten a hand hold on it yet, but they are on campus. The residents of Washington, D.C., beating up on the students at Howard University on campus. It's a big thing, and you're going to hear about it. And I am so concerned about black people taking out their anger on each other when we're all under fire and we really need to breathe. I think you need to bring that sister back on again so that we can really learn that breathing will calm our minds and our thought process. Our
Hmm.
mind taking control over our thoughts. We really got to arrest these animalistic tendencies of taking our anger out on each other. We are not the problem. We, I repeat, we, African American, melanated people, people of color, we are not the problem. We're living in a systemic white supremacist environment that is constantly throwing things at us, and we are going to need to learn how to handle these duress and stressors and traumatic situations. We're going to have to get a handle of our emotions and our thought processes. We, African Americans, Black people, melanated people, brown people, we are not the problem because we're not the ones in power. Therefore, we cannot be racist. We are not creating the racist environment. We are not killing our sons and daughters. Please, I'm urging everybody, if you hear this plea, to get a hold of your animalistic tendencies. And here is how you start: fasting, prayer, meditation, and eating the right foods. We're eating the wrong foods that is bringing out these tendencies that we're acting out. And just because you think it, don't mean you're supposed to do it.
Well,
use your powers, use your energy for something constructive. There's so many issues on the table that if each of us take one or two, we may be able to find our way somewhere in the middle. I repeat, we have so much things going on: the homeless, the senior citizens, the children, you name it, on and on and on. People are being evicted right now as we speak in Atlanta. Fulton County, Thurman, gave money to the owners and additional resources to evict the people from COVID-19. So why did they not take that money to utilize it to pay up the rent or to help the people out? Why
I
do
don't
we
follow
need?
you. You're not giving us all of the pieces of that story.
No, because okay, so you know that there was a moratorium throughout the states during the pandemic.
That's right. A moratorium on
The
paying rent.
moratorium that they could not evict anyone. Well, the moratorium was up last January, and the landlords have the right. The landlords has the right to go and evict the individuals. However, in Atlanta, Fulton County, and the areas, they did not have enough sheriffs to evict the amount of people, the insurmountable amount of people that are in Clayton County. So Thurman, I don't know what his position is right now. He used to be the Labor Department commissioner, but I think he's moved up. He has issued extra money and resources to speed up the process of evicting the people out of their homes and their apartments. And my thing is, why wasn't that money excuse me,
Yes.
instead of getting sheriffs and additional help to throw the people stuff on the streets, why wasn't that money redirected to help some of the people stay in homes? Because you know we have a lot of homeless. There's a large amount of homelessness in every city in USA.
And there's a large amount of homelessness in the world. But I will just speak to the city where I'm in, where yes, there's a lot of homelessness here too. I cannot speak on the situation, the matter that you are addressing, because I don't know anything of it. So it's best to be quiet when you cannot speak from fact, right? Or firsthand, firsthand information, secondhand information, right? Other than that, or just pure fact. But anyway, it's a pleasure to see you today. We want everybody to know that Nana's fine. As you know, Nana has written several books, and she has been out on the road promoting her books. There was a big festival in Brunswick, Georgia, the Igbo landing area where Igbos, when they first came into America, they had this huge festival there, and she was in attendance, selling books and showing the Underground Railroad quilts at the exhibit. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe next week she's going to be in Chicago doing another uh, tour with her books. All right, so we're very happy. Now, here's a woman who is a shaker on a mover. I had some physical things going on, right? So she had to be still for a while. Then,
But you sound great. You sound great.
yeah, we're talking about Nana.
Oh yeah. Oh she.
Yeah, we're saying she had some physical things going on for a while,
Yeah,
and
she's
so she
overcome a
wasn't.
lot.
Yeah, she wasn't on air, and you when you hear her talk, she'll tell you the various things that's going on. But for whatever reason, the Lord brought her up, out, and off of that sick bed. And for the last month, she's been out on the beaten trail promoting her books. Okay, as well as some other things. So we're just happy for her. I mean, the girl was laying up in the bed. The Lord touched her. Next thing you know, she's up and out and doing 4 and 5 activities in a day, traveling from one city to another. So we're
Well,
very happy for her.
God will make it happen. But I
Yeah.
really got on because I wanted to wish her a very blessed happy birthday. I believe her birthday was last week sometime.
Right. Yeah, it was last week, Wednesday, the
And
9th of August.
may God continue to bless her in all her endeavors. And I believe that while Nana was laying there, she realized that she had to complete her assignment. And she is on fire and she
She
is not
is.
stopping.
No,
And I'm
no.
happy for her. And may God bless each and every one of us because we all have assignments to
Yes.
complete. And may we be able to fulfill those assignments and also our dreams because we all have dreams. And at the point that you stop dreaming is the point that you will exit the premises.
Yes, yes,
We
yes.
ought to,
And we
we
have
ought
showing on the screen. Yeah, we have showing on the screen. You want to read that? Can you see that?
uh
If not,
uh
I'll read it.
yeah, you read it. I can't see it.
Okay. Okay, so the theme for this season is this: success is not final. Failure, okay, is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Courage is the secret sauce that allows you to act despite your fears. And
Yes.
as we were speaking earlier about will and how will and courage can go together, all right? How will and courage. And will is you wanting to do something and choosing within you to do that, and that becomes your will. Often when you're stepping into your will, there are some other principles that you may have to take on in order for your will to work. That depends a lot. Interesting, we're in different continents in the world and we both are coughing. But I know yours is leaving and mine is leaving too. Huh?
Well, I have been detoxing and I'm just doing plant-based uh just fruits and vegetables to try to clear the air. But some of it is not even of our own doing. Some of it is coming from the excessive smoke in the atmosphere from the fires from Canada.
Uh-huh.
And so everybody's going to be having some challenges with the upper respiratory system.
Okay.
And this is why I have been posting things about drinking teas to clear out your lungs,
Hmm.
drinking teas to clear out the toxins and the poisons out of your body,
Okay. Okay.
um, and just clearing out and trying to minimize the amount of starchy foods that we consume
Hmm.
and increase our fruits and vegetables. I found it to be very helpful in that which we're dealing with right now.
Well,
So
I got a confession. I have a confession.
what's a
We have a
confession?
we have a girlfriend who turned 75, and we decided to go to an African restaurant for celebration. And at the African restaurant, they had groundnut soup and they had fufu. And fufu is a starch. And I can't tell you the last time I had fufu. But Queen Mother ate, and she ate well and enjoyed it. So I just got, I starched up on some fufu starch, something I haven't had. I'm gonna say, I don't know, 5 years or more. Haven't had any fufu,
Well, I
and I
want
haven't
to tell
been to the
you,
restaurant, but it sure was good.
I'm going to tell you what Dr. Gauss told us in the class. And that was when you do something wrong and you know you weren't supposed to do it, you go ahead and grab yourself 2 CKLS, colon, kidney, liver, spleen, and make
Oh,
sure that it gets out of your system real quick.
oh.
And
Well, the next
I am,
time I'm over there, I'll have to get some more of Dr. Goss's products because I have used when I moved to Kenya. I think I had a year's supply, and I've used it.
and make sure that you ask for the old formula. There are two formulas,
Oh,
and make sure you ask for the old formula, which is stronger than the new formula.
hmm,
And the only way that we would that is because you have to be a distributor. And this is why you should not go on Amazon and get your herbs for 19.99. When
well,
you support and purchase from your distributors, they're able to now give you the updated information, the latest of what's going on. As a matter of fact, Dr. Sharita Yasid is in Ghana growing several new herbs that she
hmm,
uncovered in Ghana.
hmm,
And
hmm,
as you know, she now lives in Ghana. And I've been trying to desperately get her on the line,
hmm.
on the Queen Mother Speaks. But
Well,
she's
they will
also
come.
they've also opened up there's a health institute in Compton, California.
Mm.
So if you're sick, if you really, really need help, like now, if you've been given the bad news of any of the diseases uh, that are supposedly final, then I would find my way to Compton, California, to the new Dr. Goss's new health center
Facility.
that get
Okay,
opened
very
up.
well, very
And
well.
it's chiropractors are in there, acupuncture, um, iridology. Iridology is a study of the iris of the eye, the ancient Kemetic uh, way that they did medicine. And your eye is connected to the organs of your body and the central nervous system, and your brains. And so in your eye, in the iris of the eye, when you look through your iris, it will tell you, if you've been trained, what is really going on in the body. Now I know that when I look at your eye and I see dark spots under your eye, you're having liver, kidney challenges and
Mm,
high blood pressure.
mm,
And so usually I just give a little hint to the person that they may need to detox. And here's the thing with us. we don't like to detox. Whenever you talk about detoxification, everybody clams up. And a detox is required if you're meat eater 4 times a year. If you're vegetarian or plant-based, twice a year. And this is done during the solstice or during each season. Each change of the season, you should do a detoxification of your body. Just like when the car runs for 30 something hundred miles and you have to change the oil. Uh, liken that to your body. Every so often, every 4 months, if you're a meat eater, you need to clean out your body. And we really need to begin to pay attention to our bodies, particularly, especially the things that are happening right now and that is coming at us from all facets of, from all areas. The only
Uh,
thing, the only thing that we can be in control of is our temple of God, our body, and our family. But we cannot control anything outside of that. And so, yes, take the time. Yes, self heal. Yes,
mhm.
your body is a miraculous instrument and it
Yes.
will heal itself only if you pay attention. Yes, God is the healer. Yes, God is the magnificent, beneficent healer. But
Mhm.
we also have some responsibility.
Exactly.
We cannot chuck and jive and think that we're going to throw it in God and then
Mm.
blame God when things go wrong.
Well,
So
well.
I know I didn't come on to, well, yes, I did. Yes, I did, because it's been weighing heavy on my heart
Mhm.
as to a lot of the sicknesses that's going on, and most of it is preventable
Mhm. Mhm.
if we but pay attention
Mhm.
to what
Yes,
we
we
should.
do. Yes, we do need to pay attention. And ladies and gentlemen, in the month of September, Coach Rakaya will be coming to us with a 4-part series in the month of September. I will have other guests on the show, but she will be coming to you with a 4-part series, of course, dealing with health and wellness. And I also want to go ahead and take this moment to say, as we're nearing the end of the show for today, I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for starting off with us in year 4. I am enjoying my quote unquote month off in the month of August. As
You need
Nana
a
is
break.
doing her
You
show
need a
this
break.
month.
You need a
Yeah,
break.
and I'm enjoying it and I'm getting things done. I've actually, for the record, I've registered for a class, which is a 6-month training. I've also gotten back into my writer's circle. So we're getting some of those books out. So as I've gotten some other things off the plate, Queen Mother have added in some new things, and these new things are things that she will be doing herself. Um, so I'm going to ask you any questions that you may have around health. Go ahead and just post them to us, and we'll send them over to Coach Rakaya so that she can address them on the show. But she will be
Yes,
coming to us in a 4-part series starting in September. Yes, Coach.
and if there's any pressing situation going on with you as it pertains to health, go ahead and DM me. You can even call me. If you call me, that means that you're in the inner circle, and that means that I must respond. My number is posted on Facebook. Call me. Um, Send me an email. Be
You want to give me
sweet.
the number? I'll post it in the chat right now. Area
Uh,
code.
area code 346-244-7887 +1. And you can email
What do
me
you
at,
mean +1?
well, +1 if
Goes
they're
in the
out of
beginning?
if they're out of the country, they have to use +1. 346-244-7887. My email is B as in boy,
Okay,
S
well,
as
so
in
wait, just a moment. I'm just now sending over that phone number. There we go. And now I'll
seven
take the
eight
email.
7887. Queen 7887.
Okay, so let me just start it with 1 and then 347.
No, 346
Okay,
two
what
four
else?
four
244
7887.
7887. Let
And
me
you have
get
my
that
email,
there.
be sweet today 127@gmail.com. Or they can messenger me on Facebook. My Instagram handle is gloria.murphy.315.
So what I'll do, Coach, is I will get that information from you and we'll have it ready so that we can post it during the week and post it during the show. Because as you're calling it out, trying to put it in,
It
it's
gets complicated. And I
yeah.
am so excited because my first session, for the first time in my life, I found out that alopecia doesn't have nothing to do with age. Alopecia is a direct derivative from bacteria in your scalp and the tension from the braids. And so
Ah,
I'm going to have a pharmacist, African American biochemist, coming on to
okay,
share some information. As a matter of fact, my hair is growing back. I'm not going to show it right now,
okay,
but the parts that were patchy is growing back
very good,
because
very
I
good.
happened to meet this pharmacist at the
Mhm.
Black Wall Street in a Stonecrest Mall
In Atlanta, Georgia.
in Atlanta. I'm here temporarily
Okay,
handling some business. I don't
okay,
live
very
in
well.
Atlanta, so
All
I
right.
am here handling some business. And frankly speaking, I don't know where I live anymore. I am global because
Okay.
tomorrow I may be in Kenya
Ah,
or Ghana. Who knows?
okay.
Wherever I'm needed, and if I'm called, I will come.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I
All
do.
right. Well, you hear
If
that?
I'm
You hear that,
needed,
ladies and gentlemen? She's here to serve. And if you get in contact with her in time enough, she will come and be with you and put together a whole regimen for you around eating. Well,
yes,
it's time for us to sign off on the Queen Mother Speak Show. Let's do our normal way of ending. We throw a kiss with the left hand, mwah, a kiss with the right hand, mwah, and then both hands. Mwah. This is Queen Mother Speaks. Thank you for tuning in. We'll look to see you again on next week, and we'll be talking to you during the week to let you know that Teresa R. Kemp will be back next week. This is Queen Mother Speaks. Thank you. It's a beautiful
thank
day.
you.